Howdy YouTube, we're back at the Dell Optiplex GX150 with SCO OpenServer Release 5. So let's take another look, a little more of a look, into the desktop. Now, in my install video, I was under the impression that OpenServer came with the CDE desktop, but it does not. It has its own desktop called the Panorama desktop. So I just learned that. I haven't played with SCO OpenServer ever. So let's log in. Right now I still only have the root account set up from the install. And every time you log in, it asks you, do you want to continue with your last session or start a new session? So, you know what, let's start a new session. That should get us the default desktop as it's set up. There we go. So here is the Panorama desktop. Now, there are quite a few things I am still very unfamiliar with. Quite a few. I'm more unfamiliar than familiar, of course. But we'll take a little look around, show you a little bit about what I've learned so far. Excuse me. Now, I thought this Panner here was for virtual desktops, and I'm not sure exactly how to use it. I don't know if we drag and drop something onto it. Doesn't seem to work. If we switch, it doesn't seem to do anything. And if we double click, it doesn't seem. We can move this around, but it doesn't seem to have any effect. So I'm not really sure what the Panner does or how to use it yet. Let's go into a few things that I have figured out. First, if you double click on Help, it asks, do you want to launch it in Mozilla? So say OK, and it should bring up the SCO OpenServer handbook. It does take a few seconds to load here. Mozilla is certainly not the quickest to load, and it is installed on the hard drive in documentation folder there. So let's make it bigger. And I will be reading through this. System Administration Guide, Administration Manual pages are the two that I really want. Configuring network connections, we'll go through that probably. Not this video, but very shortly. It does have a Getting Started Guide and Handbook and tutorial. And the graphical environment. Oh, look at that, using SCO Panner. I guess I have some more reading to do. Well, so much for help. We have hopefully all the help we're going to need already on the disk. We have a system administration tools here, and these are interesting. Under File Systems, we can look at our hard drive and how it's partitioned. So we have a very small boot partition, only 30 megabytes, and then a large root partition, and that is the extent of it. So I assume there are further divisions within root, but it's one big partition. You can see it takes up about 130 gigs, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So it's a whole drive pretty much. And you can change the way you view it. You can view the inodes. You can view the mount status. You can view the file system type. So the root file system is an HTFS file system. I still have yet to find out what HTFS stands for. Maybe hierarchical something file system? I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Under mount, we can add mount configurations, modify mount configurations, check and repair file systems, all within this file system manager. Pretty cool. And then we have one just for dealing with floppy file systems. Under, let's see, user account manager, here we can add users. So you know what, let's try adding a user. And our login will be EasySit. And we can make the comment the same as the username. Default shell, and we can change it to any one of these. We'll just leave it with SH. Home directory. So it looks like it's created in the directory U. And then login group, change group memberships. We can add group memberships to our user. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and say OK. And let's see. And let's enter a password. And OK. Very good. So now we have our user. The first user created defaults to the number, the UID of 200, looks like. We can also look at default groups. View by group, okay. So all of the user controls are right there. We have a hardware kernel manager, and here we can load and unload drivers. Pretty cool, right? And we can also tune parameters of drivers. We can relink the kernel, configure a driver. Not bad. Under networks, here we have a lot of settings for setting up our network, a modem, client manager, server manager, DHCP server manager. Let's see, UUP manager, serial manager, node check, PPP connection wizard for dial-up manager. So quite a few things to play with there. Set up HP network printer manager. Oh, cool. I doubt it has a driver for my HP printer. I don't think I'm even on my network yet. Let's take a look at process manager. So here we can see what's running, and we can sort it by user or TTY or PID. We can search. We can examine, and yeah. Under software manager, we can see what's installed on the system. And if we double click on the folder, we can see all the components here. Under software, we can install new, we can remove, verify system, examine attributes, files, and patch status. Wow. And we can view all, view installed, view available for network install, view loaded only, and view patches. Sysadmin legacy, unable to execute user bin sysad sh. Okay, let's see what's under system here. We have cron manager, and some of these tools like cron manager open up in a more terminal-esque type of environment, but you do have the mouse and you can navigate with that. We're going to leave that. We do have a log viewer. We can view the system logs here. We do have, let's see what's under security. Audit manager, security profile manager, reports manager. Okay. System defaults manager. Okay, here we can, I guess, change a lot of settings, or at least look at them. Select the default file to, oh no, we can modify it. Okay. Don't want to modify anything because I don't know what I'm doing. Hopefully I didn't change anything. It's running something in the background. Oh, okay. Look at that. That's interesting. Well, I'm not sure what I did here. Certainly hope I didn't mess anything up. Let's see, System Startup Manager. We can tune how the system starts up. Time Manager, okay, that's our clock. Terminal Manager. Here is another tool that opens up in a command line looking environment. This is still doing something. Now let's see. Where was Process Manager? Here it is. What is this? System Defaults Manager on SCO OpenServer. Well, I don't know what to kill, and I don't know if I should, so we'll just leave it alone. Still can't close it. But at least now I know how to use the panner. That's pretty cool. Under video configuration, we can change our video settings, monitor. It's working well with the Intel 815 chipset video BIOS here. So I'm not going to mess with any of it because that seems to be fine. So let's do that. Let's minimize this. If we want a terminal, it's just called Unix. And there's our terminal. If we want File Manager, it's right here. Big file cabinet. And we're in the root directory, it looks like. So users are not in home, they're here in U. And I have my profile all set. I haven't logged in as my user, we just created that. Basic text editor. Let's see, World Wide Web. We're not online, so that's okay. Oh, we're just in System Administration. Now, controls. This is interesting. We have a preference editor here. And here we can change a lot of different things as well. Device configuration, really just floppy disks. We can change the way the dialog boxes appear and work. You can change the directory, the appearance of directories. We can change the behavior of the directory. That's pretty cool. We can change our desktop appearance. Now here is where we can pick ooh, that's awful. That is awful. Remove. Apply. Yeah, we'll stick with just the color. But that's how you change the background. You can do that per window or for the desktop as well. That would be under desktop behavior. No, that's another, that's more behaviors, not appearance. We can change the font for pop-up menus, okay. Tools. Under Tools is really the default applications. So you can set which applications you want to do which types of tasks. Not very intuitive under Tools, but that's fine. I guess we have a system bell. Change colors. Keyboard and mouse. And session. What's the behavior when you log in or restart? So that is all there. Under Startup, you can move objects into this Startup folder for auto starting. Object Builder. Now this is an interesting tool because the desktop is object oriented. You have to create objects through this object builder if you wanted to add, say, your own custom application or your own link to a file system on the desktop. You'd use this object builder. So there you go. Under, we looked at Software Manager. License Manager, it's showing our eval license. And if we purchased a license or had a valid system license, we could change that here. Let's see, is there anything? Oh, accessories. Okay, we have an alarm clock, calculator, a calendar. Let's see what the calculator looks like. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Automatically scientific calculator. We have a calendar. Oh, we can add to-do items, basically. Okay. Add events. Wow. Cool. Clipboard. Okay. Clock. Your basic clock. Now Windows copied that one, didn't it? Or did X copy Windows? I don't know. I think X is the one who did the copying of Windows. Okay, that's just our editor. That just shows us our date. Okay. Little paint program. A reminder program. Don't know what to view. Our mail reader. It's not set up, of course. See a magnifier. Ah. That's not very useful, is it, Xmag? Okay. Not bad. So up here we have basically a menu to link to most of what we've just looked at. Tool sheds. Oh, tool sheds. I haven't looked at this yet. Demonstrations, Unix systems command. Oh, cool. Oh, look at this. We have XIs. Yay. That's not very fun. These are pretty lame demonstrations. Okay. Desktop and administration. Oh. Okay. See, there's a lot I don't know. Unix devices. Oh, look at that. Okay. Mount to CD, mount floppies, access the printer. System commands. Ooh, compress, disk free, disk usage. Let's see, disk free. Not very human readable, is it? Environment settings. Okay, environment variables. Remote login, man pages, who command, performance load. We're not doing anything, so not displaying anything either. That's just a run command, right? That's our terminal. Excuse me. Okay, that's the process directory. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, we already went through system administration. Internet configuration. I'm not going to do that this video. Cool. That's still going, isn't it? Oh, it's because this is open. I don't know how to close it. I know how to minimize it. See if I can raise, lower. I know it's an editor, and I know I have no idea what the proper way to close it is. Certainly wasn't that. Okay, none of the simple key commands I know work. So, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to get out of this somehow. Now, what I did find out, let's see if we can do this. We can exit. Yes, I do want to log out. And in order to shut down properly, we do have to get to another terminal. Log in. This is the only way I've found to do this at the moment. We can type shutdown -y, and that will shut down in 60 seconds. Or we can do something a lot quicker. Halt sys. And now we can just turn the computer off. Done. And that is our video, our second video on SCO OpenServer. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back.